If either of those faces look familiar, you need to watch this entire video before you sign another document, pay another CD, or trust another uncle who says the land is sorted. I'm Tika and this is Reclaim Roots, where we tell the real story of diaspora life in Ghana and across the continent. No fluff, no highlight reels, no rose-colored glasses. Today we're talking about land. Specifically, the 5 things nobody in the diaspora community warned me about before I bought land in Ghana. All right, I won't say nobody because there was some information going around, but there's a lot that I did not know. Now, I'm not going to tell you the full story today. That's a whole other episode. What I will tell you is that I've been through enough of this process to know exactly what I wish someone had put in a YouTube video before I started. So consider this that video. Whether you're dreaming about it, actively searching, or you've already paid and now you're in the thick of it, stay with me. This one is for you. All right, let's start with the one that sounds obvious. Until you're sitting in Canada in February, it's -20 outside and someone sends you a WhatsApp voice note saying, Chale, the plot is beautiful, the price is good, move fast. I understand the urgency. I understand the excitement, but I need you to hear me clearly. Seen on WhatsApp is not a site visit. A video call, it's not a site visit. Your cousin going to look is not a site visit. A site visit is you physically on that land, walking the perimeter, talking to the neighbors, checking for water, checking for drainage, checking who else thinks they own that same piece of land. The diaspora premium is real. The moment people know you're coming from abroad, the price goes up and the details get selective. You need to be there in person before any money changes hand. I am currently at Jamaica Soul. This is the Jamaican village in Aburi, one of the Jamaican villages in Aburi. Can you imagine? I came out to the village and I didn't wear pants. I'm suffering today from itchy skin because I don't know what I was thinking. But anyways, I'm going to show you this gorgeous view. Can you imagine waking up to this every morning? Look at this. You hear the birds? Hey. This right here is somebody's land. Ghana is beautiful. All right, we're on to tip number 2. Before you pay a single CD, before you shake a single hand, before you sign a single thing, you go to the Lands Commission and you do a search. For those who do not know, the Lands Commission is Ghana's government body that maintains records of land ownership and transactions. A search tells you whether the land is already registered, whether there are encumbrances on it, and critically, whether the person selling it to you actually has the right to sell it. I know. It sounds like a lot. It sounds bureaucratic. It sounds like something you can skip if the seller seems trustworthy or if they're applying pressure. But please do not skip it. The stories I've heard from people who've skipped the Lands Commission search and then found out the hard way, I could fill 10 episodes with those stories, mine included, and I probably will. All right, fam, we're on tip number 3. Never buy from one family member without confirming family consensus. This one. Hey, in Ghana, family land is exactly that. Family land. You may also hear it be called stool land, which means that Uncle Kofi telling you that plot is available does not necessarily mean that Auntie Ama, the 3 cousins who live abroad, the family head, and the stool authority all agree. But Uncle Kofi is very confident. Uncle Kofi has a story for every question. Uncle Kofi will look you in the eye and tell you everything is sorted. You will not be cheated. Get it in writing. from everyone who has a stake in that land. I'm not saying Uncle Kofi is lying. I am saying that in Ghana, land disputes within families are one of the most common reasons diaspora buyers end up in trouble. And the saddest part is that the seller often genuinely believed they had the right to sell. In some cases, not so much, but in most cases. Protect yourself. Get written consent, get it verified, and get a lawyer to confirm that you are looking at before you proceed. If somebody tells you you shouldn't get a lawyer, or if they frown upon you getting a lawyer, then you need to look at another deal, because you may be faced with that level of intimidation or scrutiny, and that is a sign or a red flag. Don't proceed. All right, fam, we're on tip number 4. Never pay without a proper purchase agreement. A receipt is not a purchase agreement. A WhatsApp screenshot is not a purchase agreement. A verbal agreement witnessed by 2 people at a chop bar is definitely not a purchase agreement. A proper purchase agreement is a legal document drafted or reviewed by a qualified, I emphasize, qualified Ghanaian lawyer. It outlines what you are buying, from whom, for how much, under what conditions, and what happens if anything goes wrong. I know lawyer fees feel like an extra cost on top of an already significant investment, but I promise you, a lawyer fee upfront is significantly cheaper than a land dispute after the fact. Get a good lawyer. Do not let anyone rush you past this step. If the seller is pushing you to pay before the paperwork is ready, that is information. Pay attention to it. Do not go into this process without a lawyer by your side. All right, and you've stuck through to the end. We're at tip number 5. Never delay registration after purchase. This one is a little bit easier said than done, but here's the thing. And this is the one that catches most people off guard, including people who did everything else right. Paying for land and owning land are 2 very different things in Ghana. Until the land is registered in your name at the Lands Commission, you do not fully own it in the eyes of the law. And registration does not happen automatically. You have to initiate it, follow up on it, and sometimes follow up on it again. You could also run into the trap where you're being sent to continually pay for various documents that you need in order for you to go to Lands Commission. Don't fall into that trap. This is why a lawyer is so important. I will speak from experience here. The gap between paying and completing registration can stretch in ways you do not expect. And in that gap, things can get complicated. And when I mean complicated, you may come back and find out that the land that you bought doesn't belong to you anymore, or portions of your land may be gone. Register as soon as humanly possible after purchase. Do not wait until your next trip. Do not leave it with someone to handle on your behalf without regular follow-up. Stay on top of it. All right, let me wrap this up. Look, buying land in Ghana is possible. People do it successfully every single day. The diaspora is building on this continent, and that is something to celebrate. But the ones who do it well are the ones who go into it with their eyes wide open. They take their time, they get the right people in their corner, and they do not let excitement override their due diligence. That is what Reclaim Roots is here for. Not to scare you off, not to glamorize what is already complicated enough, just to give you the real picture so you can make real decisions. If this video helped you, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. We have a lot more real talk on the way. I also want to hear from you. Have you bought land in Ghana? Are you in the process right now, or did something in this video sound a little too familiar? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're part of our Facebook community, the link is in the description. Come join the conversation over there too. That is where we go deeper. I'm Tika, this is Reclaim Roots, and I will see you in the next video. Blessings. Bye.